welcome back. Been a long week. All that time off and weird schedules. We just knocked 2 long, hard weeks out. 2 in the morning. Yeah. Long week. Didn't get a chance to do anything on the knife. I'm not sure where we go from here. I know we could keep working on the handle, but we need to figure out what we're going to do as far as heat treat and finish sanding, all that. You know, we got to finish drying still. So I think what I'm going to do, because I don't know how long I'm going to last tonight, so I'm going to throw this in the vise, get some wet paper out. We'll start at 800 because that's what I've got on hand right now. I just ordered some more sandpaper. Oh, I want to see what this, what the flats on this are going to look like. And an 800 should leave us, it should be no problem keeping that etching on there. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling and mumbling. I'm tired, but this has been bugging me all week. I come out twice, tried to make videos, and I just couldn't get after it, and I didn't want to mess it up. So let's throw this guy in there. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. Maybe I'll throw a voiceover in there. So I'll get all the good stuff out of the way. Love y'all. Appreciate you for showing up. If you're new here, we really appreciate you coming in and looking at it. Check us out, like, subscribe, comment if you want. If you don't, just float in and out when you need to. Maybe you learn something, and maybe you throw something in the comments that I can learn from. So, sounds like a very good deal. If you guys feel like doing that. I'll just shut up and start sanding. Sounds like a country song to me. Hang tight, I'll get you where you can see. So yeah, watching a little wet sanding here is probably about as interesting as watching paint dry. So the only reason we're doing this, I wanted to see what it was going to take to bring that logo up and kind of what it was going to take to get the knife polished out when we're done. It's got some pretty good pits in it. We're not going to get those out. They're going to be there when we clean this knife up. So it let us know what we needed to do. I'll probably sand that out. We might try bluing it. We'll see when we get there. But there's some pretty good flaws in that old knife. We're not going to get them all out if we want to keep those logos on there. So we'll zip through this now and continue on. Thanks for watching. Really like the way that logo looks. Not going to go a whole lot further on this side. I just kind of an experiment here. So you can see, if I can get it to focus, logo on this side is not quite as good. You can see there's more pitting in the surface. Yeah, that logo is a lot more crisp, not near as much pitting. So we know what's under there. I guess we're gonna heat treat. I don't want to get these bevels any thinner. I mean, it's beyond where I would heat treat to begin with. I wouldn't heat treat it at all if that bluing hadn't have been down here, but I know that this part of the knife is compromised as far as hardness, so we're gonna have to heat treat it. And that, you know, we know what can happen when you heat treat, but we're gonna have to do it sooner or later. May as well bite our tongues and go out and do it. So shoot, hang tight. These are my carburation, my chokes. When I heat treat, I try to get as little an amount of oxygen in there as I can so you don't oxidize the surface of the steel. Takes a little longer to heat up. That's alright, because that's part of it. What we're going to do now is normalize. We're not going to quench it. We're going to bring it up to above critical heat. We're just going to let it cool slowly, kind of like annealing. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I think there is one. I kind of do it the same way for both, but we're in a shop, not a knife building, metallurgy, scientific place. Okay, so we've got her up to where she's non-magnetic. Watch. We'll turn that forge up a little bit now, bring her up a little higher in the colors, and then we'll let her sit. Now we'll just let that cool down to room temperature, and then we'll quench, heat and quench. Cool off. Picked up a little bit of mill scale, but nothing bad. But I think where we'll really see the difference is the amount of mill scale we pick up when we quench. We don't need to get as hot to quench, so I'll choke that back down a little bit when we put the knife in there. We're warming up our oil. Want it to be around a 120. About there. It seems counterintuitive. If you dip that in cold oil, it won't cool it as fast. And it has to do with the viscosity of the oil. I'll just leave it at that. You want it to be 120-ish, depending on the oil you're using. Oh, I'll bring you back when it's time to make some smoke and fire. All right, we're pretty darn close. I'm gonna find a glove, and you're not gonna be able to see me throw it in the vise in the straightening jig. I just don't want her to bend, so you get to see what you get to see. So there's been some questions come up in the comments when we've been doing some heat treating. Look at the color of this knife. It's really, really yellow in the camera. But to my eye, during the video, you know, while I'm pulling it out of that forge, it is not nearly that bright. If you look down at the tang, where I've got the tongs, that's about the color I'm seeing on the top of that knife. It's real close to a red, more of a red than that bright orange yellow. Look, yeah, see how quick that oil went out? If that was as hot as it looked, that would have just been a fireball. So I don't know, the camera sees better than I do, I guess. All right, we got her clamped. Bring you back in a minute. All right, we pulled her out of the clamping jig. We're still straight. We don't have a whole lot of mill scale on there. We're gonna give her the old file check. Oh yeah, she definitely got hard. All right, battery's running low. We're gonna call it a night. You know what to do. Work hard. Be safe. Above all, be kind. Go out and get you some. I'll try to get another video up this weekend. Love y'all.